Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report on today's show, presented by Manscape. I know during Thanksgiving, the turkey is the star of the show. Why don't you make your turkey leg the star of the show? And I can help you do that with code Raiders, and all you got to do is go to manscape.com, where you're going to be able to get 20% off and free shipping. That link's available to you guys down in the comments and in the description of today's show. So coming up here on the Raiders Report, I'm going to be looking at the top 10 quarterbacks the Raiders should consider starting in 2024. Now, I get it. Aidan O'Connell still has a lot of time to prove that he's the guy, which there's still plenty of time that he has time to prove that he's the quarterback for the Raiders going forward. And I get the fact that he was thrown into a bad situation because, let's face it, Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler, they put Aidan in a little bit of a dirty situation because McDaniels stunk. Mick Lombardi's not there anymore. Bo Hardegree's been way too conservative. And I agree that it was the right thing for the Raiders to do, to put Aidan O'Connell out there as the starter. He's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. He's better than Brian Hoyer. However, that does not mean that he needs to be the starting quarterback in 2024. If he earns it, great. If he doesn't, though, the Raiders got to start planning on what are better options for this team moving forward. But if you decide to move on from Aidan O'Connell, here's what the question needs to be to Champ Kelly, to Antonio Pierce, for everybody right now. What should the Raiders do at the position? Do you go out and do you draft a QB? A lot of talented quarterbacks this year's draft. If you're like, yeah, Mitch, I'm drafting a guy, type draft. If you're like, well, why don't we go out and why don't we sign a free agent quarterback like the Raiders did last offseason? Or could you potentially go out and trade for a guy? Maybe a QB like Kyler Murray is on the market. Go out and trade for him. Sure, you're going to have to pay him a bunch of money, but you can go out and trade for a guy. Or you're like, Mitch, let's continue to roll here with Aidan O'Connell. He's only a rookie. He's going to get better and better as the time moves on. My answer to this question is this. I'm hoping that if it's Antonio Pierce or if it's a brand new head coach, they're going to go out and that they're going to draft a quarterback. And just because they're drafting a QB, now, the guys that I have ranked in my top three, if you go and you draft one of those three, they're going to be the starting quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders. However, though, if you draft some of these other players, the rest of these guys on my list, I would want them to go out and I would want them to compete with Aidan O'Connell. But what's really important about this list is Aidan O'Connell is in this list. The question is, what quarterbacks would I rather draft to start over Aidan compared to what other quarterbacks would I rather draft to have compete with Aidan O'Connell? So everybody ranked above him, I would want him to compete. Here we go. Coming in here at number 10 on my list for Raiders 2024 quarterback candidates is Quinn Ewers from Texas. And if you like talent, Quinn has all the arm talent that you could possibly ask for. My biggest knock on Ewers when he was first coming out of high school was kid was immature. And he was a kid, right? He went to Ohio State. He had a terrible mullet. And then he goes back down to the Texas Longhorns. And he's definitely matured. He's got his body right. He's eating better. He's doing a lot of the things that you like to see a quarterback, a leader do in his, we'll call it second season with the Longhorns, right? So there's been reports out there that he's leaning to go back to Texas. And if I was somebody close to Quinn, I would look at him and say, you should go back to college football for another year. You're not quite ready yet to make it to the NFL, because if he's able to get his footwork down, if he's able to get his tools down, if he can figure out how to throw a deep ball, he's got round one talent. And I don't think many people would dispute that. But when you are as inconsistent as what Quinn Ewers is, that's why he's number 10 here on my list. Let's go to number 9 on my Raiders 2024 quarterback candidates. If they don't want to roll with Aidan O'Connell, I got J.J. McCarthy from the Michigan Wolverines. And McCarthy has enough arm talent to succeed in the NFL, and a lot of times it's one of the biggest things that I look for in a QB, because I want to find an athletic guy, but what does the arm talent look like? How does the ball come out of his hands? Is it effortless? Is it easy? Can he throw it on his left side, right side? Can he do it when he's rolling out? His touch passes, to me, do need to get better. If you need to rifle one in there, McCarthy can do it. McCarthy is a great guy. You need a fastball 95 down the middle, McCarthy's going to throw it 97. If you need a good curveball, a changeup, a little bit of off speed to float it in there, that's just not quite his game yet. And if you want to succeed in the NFL, you need to be able to have that. I will admit, he has done a good job making plays with his legs, moving outside the pocket, which is something that the Raiders have missed for a long time, and something that he does do a much better job of than Aidan O'Connell. If you guys are looking for Raiders content, 365 days out of the year, though in 2024, You're actually going to get Raiders content 366 days out of the year. We've put a video out on this channel every single day for about 3 years at this point. If you bleed silver and black, if you have commitment to excellence, you might not agree with everything that I say, and that's okay. I don't want you to agree with everything that I say. But if you're the type of dude that, I don't know, if you're cutting the grass on your drive to work, when you're walking the dog, if you're cleaning around the house and you need something to listen to, guess what? I listen to Graphic, I listen to Wasted, I listen to a lot of other Raiders content creators because that's what I like to do. If you're like, I need something to listen to when I do my chores, hit that subscribe button. You're also going to learn a little bit about the Raiders. Let's go to number 8 here on my list, Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. And I'll tell you this right now, from a content creator standpoint, somebody who gets paid as their job to run a Raiders show, there is nobody that's going to bring in bigger headlines than Shedeur Sanders because you've already seen it with Colorado. However, though, from an actual football standpoint, Sanders is number 8 on this list because if I was close to Shedeur, I would say go back to college for another year. You need to be able to sharpen up some of those tools. You need to be able to learn the game a little bit better before you're ready to take that step. And to be honest, he'll probably make more money in college football next season than what he would playing in the NFL, which is kind of crazy. But what I love about him is he has that ability to just keep plays alive. Like sometimes a play totally breaks down. I think it's what makes Patrick Mahomes as great as what he is when the defense does everything right. The quarterback sometimes is just better. It's kind of like when Steph Curry gets hot, you can put a hand up in his face, he can do a fadeaway, but guess what? That shit's still going in. And Sanders has that ability to extend those plays. My biggest knock on him is he does hang on to the football too long. Like, he always looks for the home run. He always looks for the big play. Or he has like that predetermined read where as soon as he calls hike, he's throwing it quick to one side, which has gotten him in trouble a little bit. He has the physical ability and the mental toughness that you look for in a franchise quarterback. If you can deal with all the drama and all the cameras and all the light that's going on right now in Colorado, believe it or not, I think that's training you for what you need to succeed to be the next Raiders quarterback. Let's go to the next name here, and this might be a little bit controversial, but I'm a fan. I like Riley Leonard coming out of Duke, and I think a lot of people, when they look at Leonard, they think, all right, he's just your prototypical pocket passing quarterback, and if people say that, it's because, well, they've never turned on the tape. They've actually never watched him play because his ability to create with his legs and his arm make him a very attractive prospect in my book. His pocket savviness is evident. Like, you can see it right away. When a play breaks down, he knows exactly where he's going to go with the football. Also, one of the traits that I look for right away in a quarterback is their footwork. Like, how good is somebody's footwork, right? Do they have the ability to, when pressure comes, can they navigate in the pocket? Like, Peyton Manning was not a mobile quarterback. Tom Brady was not a mobile quarterback. But when they were in the pocket, it was almost like they could dance. Like, they could move in and out of the pocket. It was almost like a little Victor Cruz salsa dance, if you will. And that's a very, very important quality where you can still keep your eyes down the field, maneuver in the pocket, and I do think Riley Leonard does that well. My red flag on him right now is he's injured, right? And he's been injured this entire season. Ankle, a foot injury. I think he hurt his foot in week 8. I think he hurt his ankle in week 5. I need to see more from Riley Leonard, and unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get to see it. So if you want to draft a quarterback a little bit later on, I do think Leonard is a sneaky name with some upside to consider. However, I would also tell him to go back to college. Coming up here on the Raiders Report, more quarterbacks that the Raiders could start in 2024 if they weren't 100% sold on Aidan O'Connell. But here's the thing, man. If you're not 100% sold on your significant other, and ladies, I'm talking to you, why don't you up the game here a little bit? If somebody needs a stocking stuffer, I got you covered. The holiday season, got you covered. Hell, if you want to get your stocking stuffed, go to manscape.com, use code Raiders, where you can actually save 20% off, and you're going to get free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. And now, Chugs, Manscape has just launched a brand new product, which I am super freaking hyped about because I don't know about you, man. I'm ready for Thanksgiving, and I'm ready to dive headfirst into the mountains of mashed potatoes, maybe a little bit of cranberry sauce. Let's talk about the unsung hero, though, of the holiday season. That's Manscaped Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. That's right. It's time to go cold turkey on your old razor and take care of your own turkey leg with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Visit manscaped.com and use code Raiders for 20% off and free shipping. And enjoy Thanksgiving in style with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Gobble, gobble, boys. Seriously, though, this is a product, and I have used a bunch of Manscaped products in years past, every single time I get to try out a brand new one. And I don't know, I kind of feel like the lucky kid where, remember like when you were a kid, like they would release a brand new toy, or for me, if I would like watch TV when I was a kid and I wanted the toy, I remember I would just like point at the screen. Well, anytime Manscaped drops new products, I'm always like, oh shit, I can't wait to try that out. And yeah, every single product I've ever tried from Manscaped, loved it. It's an easy gift that I give my father-in-law. It's an easy gift that I give my dad. It's an awesome gift that I've given my uncles. White Elephant, you pull up to a White Elephant with some like Manscaped ball toner or like Manscaped boxers, it's going to be the star of the show. Use promo code Raiders at manscaped.com. That link's going to be available to you guys down in the comments and in the description of today's show. Let's go to the next name here for my Raiders 2024 quarterback candidates. It's Bo Nix from Oregon. So, yes, I am telling you right now, I would rather have Aidan O'Connell start than Bo Nix. And I know it's probably a very unpopular opinion with a lot of the people out on the West Coast, considering the fact of what type of year Nix is having right now with the Oregon Ducks, because he's a Heisman candidate. I want to say he's got 2 interceptions, something like 35 touchdowns. Like, the Oregon offense is clicking. But to me, the thing that I love about him is he has improved every year that he's played. And I look at a trait like that, very important. You got to be coachable. And how bad he was at Auburn, when you watch that tape and you see how bad he was, a lot of quarterbacks fold and they're done, right? Like, you have a year like that, done. Well, guess what? He went to Oregon, got better. And you can see that he's gotten better and better and better every single year, which is a trait that I love. It's one of the reasons why I really thought that the Raiders were going to go out and draft Aidan O'Connell. Nix, he has the qualities that you look for in a leader. Like, when I'm in a huddle, I want a guy that looks at all those players and commands their attention. Bo Nix has it right now for Oregon. To me, though, he's got a decent NFL arm, and I mean decent. I've seen some people say, oh, it's a good arm. It's not a good arm. It is a very average arm. He can't throw the ball downfield. He's gotten better at it, but he does a lot of checkdowns. That's how he moves the football. His stats are great, but when you really watch him, and I mean really watch him, I don't think he's the quarterback that a lot of people think he is. If you need a healthy competition, a QB that you don't have to draft in the first round to compete with Aidan O'Connell, I do think Bo Nix is an intriguing option if you want to stick with a similar style offense. Let's go to number 5 here on my list, and guess who? It's Aidan O'Connell. If you're the Raiders, and spoiler alert, I want the Raiders to draft a quarterback. I think I've made that pretty obvious. I don't think that they should trade for one. I don't think that they should sign one in free agency. If I'm the Raiders and you have a brand new head coach in Antonio Pierce, or you have a brand new head coach in whoever you decide to hire, you have a brand new OC in whoever you decide to hire, I want my quarterback. So, if the Raiders make the playoffs this season and Aidan shows significant improvement from what he has already shown, then you roll with him again. If that hasn't been the case, then you are going to look at other players. You are going to look at other routes in terms of who you can go with. Do I think Aidan can turn into a good quarterback after a few years? Yeah, I think he can be a halfway decent quarterback. I don't know if he's ever going to be top 20, but I don't know if I want to wait 2-3 years down the road for Aidan O'Connell to be a fringe top 20 quarterback, because I don't think he's ever going to be a top 10. And if you're not sitting with the top 10 quarterback in the NFL when you're going up against Justin Herbert, when you're going up against right now Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, they look like they're playing a lot better, and Patrick Mahomes, you got to find yourself a quarterback, or else you're just wasting everybody's time. So here we go. Do you want Aidan O'Connell to be the Raiders quarterback in 2024? If you're like, yes, Mitch, I do, type those 4s down below. If you're like, no, let's move on, let's go to somebody else, I want you to type 0 for no. As much as I love and respect Aidan, my answer to this is no. I do not want O'Connell to be the Raiders quarterback next season. And I say that because I believe that he is going to be a good career backup. And if Aidan's the Raiders backup quarterback, awesome. He's a very smart and intelligent quarterback. He can run the offense. He can do all that kind of stuff. But it's the terms of that next level. Like, Aidan's arm is never going to be an above average arm. It's always going to be average to slightly below average arm. His footwork, it's not very good right now. His anticipation, it's okay. His accuracy is the best thing about him. But to me, if you're looking for an upside in a mobile quarterback, and in today's day and age in the NFL, I don't know why you would settle for almost anything less than a quarterback that has that upside. You're working with Josh McDaniels, and a guy that he thought could work Josh McDaniels' offense. I feel bad for Aidan being put in the spot that he's in, but if I can pick from almost any other quarterback in next year's draft, I'm going to go that route. And that's why Aidan's number 5 on my list. Let's go to number 4 here. I'm going to go Jaden Daniels. Yes, I would rather have Jaden Daniels as the Raiders' starting quarterback next season than Aidan O'Connell. You have to totally change up the offense. I get that, but I'm okay with that. And sometimes I'm willing to take a risk. Sometimes you got to be willing to put some money down and roll the dice a little bit, because even if you decide to go with Jaden Daniels, I don't think Aidan O'Connell's going anywhere. Like, he's still going to be the backup quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. And the fact that I know that, I'm okay getting a little bit ballsy. And that's exactly what Daniels is. I don't know if there's many quarterbacks that I've seen coming out of the draft that are like honestly, like this athletic. And yeah, if the Raiders want to get ballsy, they can also go to Manscape. Same for all y'all. Manscape.com, code Raiders. But he has the arm strength to make it at the NFL level. Like, when you watch him throw a football, it comes out and you're like, that's an NFL arm. But needs to improve in the accuracy. Needs to be able to improve on his touch. Needs to be able to improve on his deep ball. He does those things well, and he's gotten better. And that's one of the reasons why I'm willing to take a chance on Jaden Daniels, is because of how much better he has gotten year after year. Like, his jump from last season to this season is spectacular. It shows that he's coachable, and he's the best athlete at QB this year. He's going to go to the combine. He's going to light it up. Remember how much hype Anthony Richardson got? People didn't even know if he was going to go in round 1. Dude got picked at 4. Why? The NFL Combine. What Jaden Daniels is going to do at the NFL Combine is going to wow a lot of people. Let's go to number 3 here on my list. Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr., the lefty. And he's the only lefty on this list, and I know a lot of times when I talk about QBs, I don't always pick the lefty because it's a lot different for a wide receiver to catch a ball. It's just like anybody that's played baseball, right? Like, if you're going up against the lefty pitcher, ball comes out different. It changes a lot of things. But one of the things that I love about Penix, and something that quarterbacks need, is you got to have confidence. And I don't know if there is a more confident passer right now in college football than Penix. And he shows great accuracy. And not only accuracy like on easy throws, you also need to be able to have a quarterback that can throw it anywhere on the field. Remember the Raiders' offense this season with Josh McDaniels. They didn't really throw too much on the outsides deep because Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't do it. They really tried to focus on the inner routes down the middle, down the seam. With Penix Jr., he can hit every single spot on that field, and he's not afraid to throw it on any single spot on that field, which really opens it up for your entire offense, which is one of the reasons why this is one of the best offenses in all of college football right now. So, to me, my red flag for him is the injury history, because, yes, he's been healthy this season, and yes, he was healthy last season, but you look at early on a few years ago, like, dude could never stay healthy. And when you look at red flags, especially when you're going to have to draft this QB, I'm going to guess he goes top 10, because every year quarterbacks go a lot higher than what you think that they're going to go. If you're going to take a quarterback top 10, you have to look at his injury history. Realistically, if you told me, Mitch, you can either have Michael Penix Jr. with the Raiders' first-round pick or Jaden Daniels with a Raiders, second-round pick, I might roll the dice with Jaden Daniels in the second round over Michael Penix Jr. in round 1. Here's where it's going to get interesting. It's Caleb Williams for USC. And bottom line is this. If you want to get Caleb Williams, or if you want to get the guy at number 1, the Raiders are going to have to trade up. And they're going to have to give up, I believe, more this year than what they would have had to give up last season because of the quarterback prospects that are right here. He's got the arm talent. He's got the athletic ability. Nobody's going to sit up here and say that Caleb Williams doesn't have those two. And if you do, then, man, you got to start going to get your information somewhere else. He has struggled against pressure this season when he's been blitzed. I get it. That offensive line for USC, it's bad. That defense for USC, it's bad. Some people don't know if they want to be able to go get a quarterback that cries after a game or a quarterback that writes F Utah on his fingernails. My biggest red flag with Caleb Williams is up here. Do I care that he cried? No, to me, I like the fact that he cares. I want people to care about it. But to me, does Caleb Williams have the mental toughness, the mental makeup to be a franchise quarterback in the NFL? That's a legit question. Does he have the mental toughness to be able to deal? I laugh when I say it with Raider Nation. Like, we know how we are. We're a tough fan base, and we've been waiting on a quarterback for a very long time to take us to that next level. We haven't had a top 10 quarterback run this team and since Rich Gann? I mean, it's been an extremely long time. Sure, you could say Derek Carr in 2016, 2015, but then he got hurt, right? So I guess Derek Carr was playing at the MVP level. Anyway, though, We're trying to find a QB that can compete with Patrick Mahomes, trying to find a QB that can compete with Justin Herbert, a quarterback that can take the Raiders back to the AFC title game, back to the Super Bowl. Williams has the talent, but does he have it up here? And that's why he's number 2 on my list, because if you've watched this show for a long enough time, you guys know that I've always said that the number 1 quarterback on my list is Drake Maye. And Drake Maye, to me, has all the tools that you look for in a quarterback. If I had the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, I will take Drake Maye over Caleb Williams. That's how confident I am in him. His ability is unbelievable. His arm talent is spectacular. But most importantly, at the quarterback position, man, you got to be cool, calm, and collected. And nothing really seems like it really razzles this kid. And when I watch him play, and I've said this before, he reminds me of Aaron Rodgers and Justin Herbert. Aaron Rodgers in the sense of when the ball comes out of Drake Maye's hands, it's effortless. And when you watch Rodgers throw, he wasn't the biggest guy coming out of Cal. Just the arm talent was different. It was just effortless. It was really just like, and just that's how it looks with Drake Maye. The overall just athletic ability, Justin Herbert is a much better of an athlete than what people give him credit for, especially because when he was on the West Coast, a lot of people on the East Coast didn't really watch him as much. But now you got a quarterback in Maye who can do it all. He can run. I don't really want him to run, but he can if you need him to. He can go outside the pocket. He can make every single throw. He's got the size, the athletic ability you look for in a quarterback. To me, Maye's release helps him make every throw on the field. It helps him get rid of the ball quickly. Drake Maye is the number 1 overall prospect in the 2024 NFL Draft. He's the number 1 quarterback. And if I'm the Raiders and you have an opportunity to get Drake Maye, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. It's going to cost you multiple draft picks, multiple first-rounders. I mean, I'm going to say at least 3 first-round picks probably to get up to number 1. Do you do it? I don't know. We'll find out. Who do you want the Raiders' starting quarterback to be in 2024? I got to know what you guys want. Do you want it to be Aidan O'Connell? Cool. Do you want it to be one of the quarterbacks that I mentioned? Obviously, if I get a vote, it's Drake Maye. I'll take Drake Maye over Caleb Williams. But that's a guy you got to trade up for. If it's, well, Mitch, I don't want to take a quarterback in round 1, I'll hope that Jaden Daniels falls to me in round 2. After that, there's a lot of coin flips, a lot of QBs, and I get that. And if that's the route, like you don't get the quarterback that you love in round 1, round 2, after that, I'm probably okay sitting with Aidan O'Connell as my starting quarterback again and really just trying to build a very talented team around him. One more time here, though. Let's go to the Raiders' 2024 quarterback candidates for next season. Quinn Ewers, J.J. McCarthy, Shedeur Sanders, Riley Leonard, Bo Nix make up 10 through 6. And then I got Aidan O'Connell at number 5 if they decide to roll with him yet again or get themselves in a difficult position. Jaden Daniels comes in here at number 4. Hopefully, though, you're targeting him in round 2. And then Michael Penix Jr., Caleb Williams, Drake Maye. That's going to round out my top 10 quarterbacks that I hope start for the Silver and Black next season, whether that be underneath Antonio Pierce, whether that be with a brand new head coach, new offensive coordinator. I want the Raiders to either draft a quarterback or start Aidan O'Connell. Those are the only 2 options that I want. To stay up to date on everything going on around the Silver and Black, because I get it, not everybody can watch me on YouTube. I put out a lot of content as well on Twitter and on Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365.